It's time to start New Game Plus. I did a few best ofs. I haven't decided whether I'm gonna make clips of the legendary challenges because let's be honest, they're all over YouTube. Is mine gonna make a difference? I don't know. But I wanted to start New Game Plus. I actually played this afternoon and for some reason with a new headset, same model, the audio didn't work, and I played around afterwards when I saw that it ran without voice and I couldn't get it to work. I'm not sure what I did wrong. It's the same settings as this, same model of the headset. I don't get it, but you know what, we're gonna do it again. Now you can actually configure based on, I'm gonna have to get rid of old stuff. This is all my saved stuff. End of Let's Play Campaign 1, right? So that actually marks the end of the game I did with my male hunter, balance collar, all the DLC completed. So we've got, you take that and this gives you, based on what you did in that game, creates the new game while carrying over progression from a previous playthrough save of your choice. Customize which parts of the progression to carry over. So that was the thing that was kind of cool, is you can decide what aspects you want to do. You always have to start with normal, okay? Oh, see? And you gotta earn them back, right? So, but you can decide, yes, I want the tutorial. Then, do I want the hero abilities? Includes the hero cards, abilities, passives, and hunter collars. Yes. Do I want friendship levels? I want to start from scratch with the friendships. Do I want the resources like my blueprints and my gloss and the money that I did? Yes, I do. Do I really want arcane knowledge? Does that mean I'm going to start from scratch with free, common, and rare chests when I open them up? Maybe. Cosmetics, I definitely want that. Oh yes, I do want my resources. The friendship levels, I want to earn, obviously, certain things like combat items and shove and all those special things you learn from research are going to be earned. But all the heroes are going to be there. And when I say cosmetics, is it just me or is it everyone else? Is everyone going to have their emo kid shirts? I do not know, but we're going to find out. And we're going to find out now, and we're going to start with everybody's favorite sequence with Dr. Faustus and Crossbones. So here we go.
You know how much I hate this hocus-pocus nonsense, Faustus. Now you want to tell me just what the hell is so important?
Sleeping Mother, Sacred Harbinger, awaken and reclaim what is yours. You who rise with the moon in darkness, who prepares the path for the midnight sun. Turn your merciless eyes upon us, and arise!
Nice show, Doc. Next time, call Zemo. Better yet, I'll just shoot you and save us all the trouble.
Here we go! Tutorial time! Meanwhile, in the American Southwest.
I can feel it, Rox. Trouble in the air. More innocent blood joining you soon. Head back to your magic castle. You ain't welcome here.
It's called a sanctum. And welcome or not, this is where fate has determined the Sorcerer Supreme needs to be.
Tell fate. Answers no.
This is the secret guardian you dragged me 5,000 miles to meet?
Who's the mouth?
Mr. Stark is brash, but I assure you, he can be trusted.
Wait, you seriously don't know who I am?
The fabric of magic is shifting, Johnny. The prophecy of the Midnight Sun is upon us.
Your last crusade cost me plenty. This time I intend to look after my own.
Hey pal, I don't think you understand. Things are changing. 2 + 2 no longer equals 4. Up is sometimes down, and strange here is actually starting to make sense.
Do I look like someone who gives a damn about any of that?
No, you look like you should be bouncing for the double deuce. Listen, all I know is hell's coming, and my pal here says you can help.
That's where you're wrong. Hell's not coming. It's already here. You're welcome, Robo-Man.
Iron Man? It's okay. It's fine. I know what he meant.
Okay. For those who
We
did
come all the
not
way out here,
follow,
and the old man runs off with that precious page of yours. Could have at least left us some VIP passes for the carnival. Maybe blown up a few monsters on the way out.
Johnny Blaze has sacrificed a great deal for this world already. I am certain he will come around given time.
Thought you said time was the one thing we didn't have. All right, let's just wrap this up. I think I've got sand in my nanopolymer weave.
okay, for those who've never seen a playthrough or seen my playthrough, we are still going to go through this because I wouldn't be Tips for Tunes without giving you information, so you can follow not just the story, but get an idea how I make the decisions, good or bad. Okay, there are 3 kinds of cards. There are attack cards that have crossed swords on them in the corner. There are skill cards that have a shield, and there are heroics, which are, I guess, special cards. The other 2 actually generate the heroism that you can use for the special heroism cards. And you always start officially with 3 card plays, but once you get into the game, it can be more than 3 card plays during the course of a turn. So we start with attack cards. We've got a whole mess of characters there, pretty simple ones. There's not even any health levels on them. And each one of these as attack cards will create a heroism each. So Iron Man has a turn where he's going to do some stuff for us.
Sure, why not? Oh, that? It was nothing.
Okay, and we could do some maneuvering so we know what we're doing over here. I'm going to take another one that's way out in the boonies here.
Getting it done any way we know how.
And for the sake of the tutorial...
Impressive.
Am I really gonna have to bring out the big guns for this?
Now, the heroism card, we earned 2 heroism by running, using 2 attack cards. And air superiority is 2 heroism here. Now, this one is not something you get right away. This is for the sake of the tutorial. And it's a great card because it basically hits everything. And currently we have really low-level foes, so whatever is out there, and there are only 2 left, it could be 5 or 6. It'll attack 5 or 6. So anyway, it doesn't even specify. He goes up there and he shoots at everything.
Let's do it. Hey, the jerk store called. They're running low on you guys.
Okay, we don't have anything at this point. You know, you don't give you everything. It's step by step adding some of the features of a card of a turn. So now we get to see more kinds.
Coming in.
So now you're going to see different kinds of foes.
It will take
Sorry.
more than that, I'm afraid.
Okay, so minions and elites. Okay, the minions have no health bar on them, and any damage defeats them instantly. So they could still attack and take someone out, but when you attack them, no matter what you use, it's going to take them out. Elites have a higher health, and therefore they have a health level on them. And sometimes you can use
That
combinations.
suit may be a marvel of technology, but it's no match for the mystic arts. Allow me to demonstrate.
Now,
Oh, so it's a contest now. Then you take the extra creepy one.
Gladly.
okay, now Doctor Strange has Winds of Watum, which has something called knockback. Knockback is something that you take one of the villains and knock it into another, or knock it against a wall or something. So you have more than just hitting it, you just throw it into other things. And in this case, we're going to knock it into another one of the foes. So we're going to take the big one. When you hit with the big one first, he gets the brunt of the attack. And since these things will fall from anything, why not?
A moment of preparation.
It takes more than one to take these out, but
I know that wasn't your signature move.
I know what we've done here is we have instantly taken one of them out. Now, Iron Man's going to clean up with this one. The reason why I'm not taking that one is because even if it's weaker, it's still going to hit harder than this minion. So I'd rather take this one out and have an attack of one of each of these instead of attack of 2 big ones. So that's my priority here. Alright, now
Interesting tactic.
we also have a nice heroism card. And this one is for single, it doesn't hit everything. But it's Axe of Angaramus. We've earned the 2. And it can take the big one out, and the little one will be left to attack.
This won't end well. You've been deceived by Lilith, and it may very well cost you your life.
Now, one thing we're going to learn in the course of the story is it isn't just about Hydra and Lilith. There is another set of foes, and this is among them, that doesn't necessarily come from Lilith. So that will be revealed also in time. Now, obviously, we have nothing else we can do. One of us is going to get hit by this thing. That's the way it goes. Ooh. Hey, hi, Iron Man. That was pretty funny.
Probably
Okay.
still won't be enough, but you can try.
Okay, at the start of each turn, hero icons will appear above each enemy, showing who that enemy is going to attack once the hero turn is over. Use this information to determine which enemies to defeat first or which heroes to defend. In this case, Doctor Strange is in danger. See what you could do to assist him.
Now that I have their attention, perhaps a blessing is in order. Something protective?
Well, I could give you a hand, or a shield in this case.
In the spirit of cooperation, I'll accept your offer. Just this once.
Don't mention it.
Okay, so we've got this one little one left. And then we've got two bigger ones and another little one. They're all looking at Doctor Strange. So whatever happens, sorry, we're going to need to shield him. So Iron Man is going to give him block. The skill card in this case will give us 2 heroism for the future. But also it's going to, when it gives block, when they attack, they wear down the block first, and they don't injure Doctor Strange directly. So he's gonna do that.
Tony's got your back.
Greatly appreciated.
Okay, now we've got Winds of Watum. We got this guy over here. I guess we're gonna have to look at some things that are more pressing. Now in this situation here, we don't have the luxury of knocking everybody back, but we can take this guy over here.
Watch closely. It's for the best, trust me.
And again, we're in a situation here where we don't have that. We can't knock them back. They're not in the same range. But what we can do is take this one and smack it against the rock.
Let me show you the way.
So in this case,
You should have that examined at some point.
we have one big one and one little one that's going to attack Doctor Strange. Fortunately, his block, it probably won't injure him. We also have 4 heroism that can carry over to the next turn.
Really, I'm flattered, but save some for the others.
So it's 7 out of 30, which is nice. Okay, so now
They
we
all
go.
set their sights on me.
Again, they're
I
looking
think
at
they
Doctor
pissed him
Strange.
off. Got a spell for that, maybe?
Interesting. A spell to change the very demeanor of our enemies. Something along the lines of the psionic manipulations of Eros of Titan?
If you can't make it happen in the next 10 seconds, I'm not interested.
Okay, so this is our situation. We know air superiority can take out the little ones, and when these are weakened, they can come off. But we don't have all that luxury. So what we're going to do here first is Iron Man can go over to this bigger one and blast it. It's a single one.
I'm saving my energy till we need it.
That's the spirit.
Now, he's always looking at that one. I don't know. But anyway, our plan here is to smack 2 of these together to weaken them. So whatever we can do with Winds of Watum that can take 2 of them out, great.
Prepare yourselves.
Now,
Lilith doesn't care about you. I hope you realize that in time.
okay, so now we can use air superiority. It'll take everything out except the 2 here that weren't hit yet.
Let's try this.
That was really something.
And this brings us to environment attacks, because even if we don't have card plays, we do have some options still. Many objects on the battlefield can be used to your advantage with environment attacks. Environment attacks cost heroism, but do not use a card play, obviously. These free attacks, I never call anything that costs anything free, so they're not really free, are very useful. Use them wisely to score important knockouts. Where did the music go? Try using one or more rocks to wipe out extra enemies. Okay.
And while you ponder arrows, maybe we should just try throwing a big rock at him?
Okay, so I'm gonna give Iron Man one of those. We have 4 heroism left, so we've got plenty. We're gonna have some to spare.
This shouldn't take long.
So Iron Man gets to do the effective style. The different heroes have different ways of doing things. In the case of Doctor Strange, he gets to do this one. This guy's in the range. Smack him. And that's how he does it. All right.
If I'm being honest, that encounter went better than I expected.
Tony, I've been noticing a recurring gamma spike.
You see, this is why you shouldn't eat spicy food, Bruce.
Localized in the West Village, converging on the Sanctum.
Wanda.
The collective works of the universe's greatest sorcerers, and he left them underneath the takeout menus.
Shifting mystical polarities are wreaking havoc on my portals.
You don't say. You okay, kid?
Yep. In this one,
Yes. Are you?
she's his
Let's
disciple.
put a pin in that. Whoa.
Captain Marvel. Carol Danvers.
Carol.
Bruce and I have been trying to reach you. He'd have come himself, but he's...
Oh, you did the big green guy proud.
I really should up my homeowner's insurance.
Hail Hydra!
Miss Maximoff, the wards of protection, if you please.
Stephen, I can fight. I've got control now.
Then show me by activating the wards. In the meantime, in honor of our missing companion, the rest of you may feel free to smash away.
Hail Hydra!
Oh, sure. Pick on the smart guy. Nice one, Carol. Always the direct approach.
You know I don't mess around. Besides, we picked up some crazy gamma readings coming from, well, here. Guessing that explains the Hydra goons and ominous green lights.
Yes, but not while you fail to use the front door.
Hi, how about we discuss proper hero landing etiquette after we take down the bad guys?
Okay, now, notice only the heroes were busting up his place. How? What friends? Okay, so we've got Carol now. We've got a new one with some more dynamic. We've got Winds of Watum. We've got Blast. We've got a heck of a lot of Hydra. Okay, switching targets. Now, that's one of the things you can do also. I generally don't, but if you have to for any kind of reason, I usually use my mouse. And in this case...
Follow my movement.
Interesting.
Fortunately, Doctor Strange still has enough, he has 23 left on his block. He only lost 7 of it, so it'll be a while before he gets hit. Now, we've got Blast.
This should be good.
Not bad. Not great, but not bad.
Now we have another resource that was added to us, the redraw. Use redraw to replace undesirable cards in your hand. Highlight a card to redraw, then hold R down on your keyboard to replace it with a new one. The new card is random, but may be more immediately useful. In this case, we don't have enough heroism to use the photon beam, but we can replace it. I'm holding down my R. And something new is showing up. So we've got Jab. Probably should have done that one. She's going to get attacked, and frankly, that wasn't very smart, was it? So...
One more time.
Love the effort.
Okay. But then again, she has 74, so... Now, the other thing you can do, if you were me, is take this guy and smack him, get him out.
Let's do it.
She has a different way. Well, since she's strong, she's like Iron Man. She just picks up and throws a big rock. Now, this is all that's left. And...
Pull back and regroup.
Took a measly 5 off for her.
Awaiting reinforcements.
Okay.
The odds are still in my favor.
Okay, moving heroes to take advantage of things like, say, earlier, if I had a better position, I could have knocked back Doctor Strange on a couple of minions in the first tutorial. In this case, we can move Carol to... Let's give Carol the... Switching heroes, use tab. That's what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is she can go up here, use this environment, and smack a couple of guys out. This is strong enough. If I mouse over, I can see it takes 14. So it'll take any of these guys out, you know, in one shot. And also, when you slide, or sometimes you'll see that you can drop a net of cargo on people. Those things take 2 heroism, not 1 like the rocks that we've been throwing. So let's see. I tried in the past. You really can only do 2 of these. Sometimes you can get 3, but I don't think that's the case here. So... But you don't want to waste it on anything that's a minion. Ooh.
Here we go.
There goes some more of Doctor Strange's furniture. This poor guy. Up to 5 cards will be drawn to fill your hand at the start of each turn. Consider what cards to play and which cards to redraw or keep for future turns. And keep in mind, you can hold up to 12 cards at any one time. So there's a lot of flexibility once the main rules are all in effect.
Oh, that Davenport was at least a century old. What a waste.
Aw, poor guy. So we have three card plays. We haven't really, you know, used any up yet. She certainly hits harder, but when you have 10, does it really matter? Okay, so Doctor Strange, what can you do? Not much. See that? Don't you wish you had moved for him? Well, you know, I have a plan. What if she smacks him?
Fair enough.
Did she move him
I think
away?
these guys got their tactics from the back of a magazine.
Did she move him a little bit over? No? Oh, but we could get him like that. If we do that, we'll earn... No, that's right. This is a tutorial. That won't happen. Whoa. See, he doesn't have much left on that. See, again, I probably should have done that. Okay, I'm gonna do this.
Interesting tactic.
Now I'm gonna also do this. I'm gonna put Agamotto's Gaze. This is a skill card that is really good because not only does it give us the heroism to play with, it returns the last 2 attack type cards we used, and the next turn will be 4 plays, not 3.
Let's try.
This is a good investment. We know we're gonna get attacked one with the other.
Ancient traditions.
Okay, so okay.
Get out of there!
He's still not phased.
Reinforcing!
You'll need even greater numbers to defeat me.
Okay, so they want us to
These guys just keep
finish off.
showing up.
They are surprisingly relentless. In any event, we must provide Wanda the time she needs to activate the wards of protection.
So, don't think we'll need that. Those are very tempting. You know what? I am. Well, actually, no. I'm not going to do that. I don't like any of it, frankly. The way they're positioned is just so irritating. But we do have 4 card plays. The first thing I'm going to do, though, is we're going to do Photon Beam. So we're going to take Carol and move her so she can move in a line and take out a mess of guys. This is a good place for it, right here. I don't think we can go any further. I don't think we can take the 4th guy with it. It's just not going to happen. But there they go.
You had this one.
And break up more of his stuff. Okay, so I don't want to know what that advantage that could possibly be.
Watch and learn, my friends.
You know, in previous ones, I got Axe of Angaramus and was able to take one of these guys out. Instead, I have to wait another turn to take everybody out and get attacked. Very weird.
At least Hydra Green is iconic. If you're a low-rent mercenary, I mean.
You know, I might still be able to do this. Oh, that's right. The rules aren't in effect. What a shame. Technically, this is a card that could refund a card play. That's not going to happen.
Let's give it a go.
That's how that works.
And he still has blocks, so this guy's not going to hurt. I just wish it would have been done, but we don't have that.
Regroup at position Tango!
Everything's solid so far? We're 3 of the world's strongest heroes, right? Doesn't it seem like this should be easier?
That
Yeah.
comes through Skrull Star Cruisers that went down faster.
Yeah,
Something's
okay.
up.
Has clearly raised their game, and I have a terrible suspicion as to how.
Because you gave me lousy cards this time? Because I've done this a few times, and it shouldn't have been like that. It shouldn't have taken. Anyway.
The wards. Something's blocking them.
Not something. Someone. closer? Lilith. Mother of demons, harbinger of the midnight sun. Prophecy or not, you overstep. Challenging the Sorcerer Supreme.
Be silent. Be still.
What just happened?
Ow! Be gone.
No!
A fellow daughter of Transia. You remind me of my own beloved.
In virtute vishanti! Well done, Miss Maximoff. Your unique energy surprised her.
Whoa! I'm fine. What? I'm fine.
The prophecy is in motion. Lilith is still out there growing stronger each second the midnight sun approaches.
Define stronger.
If we are to have any chance of stopping her, there is only one option left to us.
I won't go back there.
We all must eventually face our demons, Miss Maximoff. However, one of us should remain behind to maintain the wards of protection.
See you on the other side. Okay, you did that one on purpose.
The fabric of magic is unwinding. We are fortunate to be here at all.
And where is here, exactly?
Salem, Massachusetts. Well, a pocket dimension in Salem, Massachusetts.
Oh, suburbs. Nice.
Welcome to the Abbey. Home of the
Midnight Sun.
The hell is this? Lilith's Junior Demon League?
Wait, it's that jerk from TV. Which one?
Now, if everyone would just take a moment...
Enough! You're standing on my flowers.
Oh, been a long time, Sarah.
It's caretaker now.
If I could have avoided this moment, I would, but...
Spare me the speech. I know Lilith's back. We're sisters after all.
Guess we're suddenly invisible now.
Shall we chat, Stephen?
No one can argue that the Hunter earned their rest in the first battle against Lilith. I only hope they are up for the task once more.
You wizards always make everything sound so lofty. I raised my sister's only child as a weapon against her.
And saved the world in the process.
Now you want me to dig them up and ask them to do it again.
I did not write the prophecy, Sarah. Besides, I am no common grave robber. We are simply reuniting their ethereal essence with their corporal form. Speaking of, it would help to have a mental image for the procedure. Spare no detail. Spiritual identity theft is no laughing matter.
The Midnight Suns even noticed that only Doctor Strange went in there and Iron Man and Captain Marvel were also invisible. Anyway, this time we're going to be doing, in the plus game, we're doing use a female. I am looking for, and that might actually be interesting. Since we don't know what Daddy was like, I'm still going to be sticking with something that was close to Mom, even if the Hunter might deviate. We may get some interesting skin tone down the line. I'd rather get something pale and gothy. Eye color. Let's see. And this time... I was thinking ginger, but... What if we did this? No, thank you. You know we're not doing this. Like I say, we're not doing Star Trek Triskelon. Thank you very much. Might be a good start. My idea is the hunter's been idle for 300 years with a ponytail that just gets longer and longer. Eyebrows. What they consider blonde really leaves much to be desired. No, not going for the facial hair. So, kind of a pseudo Tilda Swinton type. It's open to all kinds of configuration. May have some fun with that.
Child of light and darkness, you who tame the night, hear the voice of those who beseech thee and...
The caller! Wait! Wake up! Mother.
So, that's a good thing, right?
Sarah. Where is she?
As far as resurrection spells are concerned, I've seen worse. Particularly on myself.
Tony, come on. It's perfectly safe.
That thing wakes up and takes a bite out of you. Don't blame me.
Visiting hours are over.
You can't stay here forever.
There's nowhere else I should be.
Just saw that Stark guy poking around behind the mirror table.
Find me as soon as they awaken. And Blade, be nice.
Always am.
Well, playtime's over. Time for the story.
So cold, but the air burns with every breath. Has it been so long? I know this place. In my dreams, it was always empty. But now I sense I am not alone.
Have to admit, Hunter, you make one hell of an entrance. Guess that makes two of us.
You should have struck when you had the chance, vampire. You will not live to regret your error.
Cute, and Caretaker told me to be nice. Relax, Slayer. I'm a friend. You just don't know it yet.
Yes. I saw you with Sarah before. But what would she want with a vampire? Unless...
The name's Blade, and I'm no ordinary vampire. I get you've been out of commission, but I thought you noticed since we're having this little showdown under the freaking sun.
A dampier? Daywalkers were a myth even to me.
Says the half-human, half-demon monster hunter.
I do, and I must admit I am curious. Tell me, Daywalker, how did you come to be?
Long story, and it's still not over. We managed not to kill each other for a while, and maybe I'll tell you one day.
I accept your challenge.
Right. As much as I'd love to see how much weirder this conversation can go, we should probably get moving.
Agreed. The prophecy is in motion. I can feel it. We have wasted too much time here already.
Man, the others are really gonna love you.
Others?
Yeah, you've got a little fan club, I think. But why spoil the surprise? Hope you're up for the challenge, chosen one.
Okay. Let's assume there are no herbs or anything nearby that I can take advantage of and pick, because nothing's happened yet. So, sorry. Let's go see everything else around here.
Hold up. Did I miss something? Or did Nico just raise the dead?
I definitely helped, but no, that's the one thing I can't do.
You were never able to raise the dead.
Huh? But she just did.
Maybe the hunter wasn't all dead.
Some part of them had to be alive, otherwise my spell wouldn't have done anything. Which makes sense, I guess.
Sounds like a reach to me.
Huh, coming from a vampire who loves to sunbathe at the pool.
Half vampire.
Half-dead hunter.
Either way, wouldn't count on that working again.
Yes, we know.
Just trying to help.
How? By keeping an eye on things out here while the big wigs decide the fate of the world inside?
Someone has to babysit the kiddie table.
Babysitting or not, you realize they still have you out here with the kiddies, right?
Oof. Ouch.
Hunter.
Man, I just wish I could have brought my brother Gabe along. He'd love this place.
Yes?
Hunter. Not sure if you remember me, but we met briefly before. I'm
the witch who called me back from the grave.
Told ya.
Or Nico, but either works. And this is...
Robbie Reyes. Oh man, never thought I'd be standing next to you. Got quite a rep. I mean, caretakers told us stories.
That's Ileana.
Привет.
And I think you already met Blade.
Of course. Caretaker has reformed the Midnight Suns.
Whoa. How did you...
Your power. I can feel it. I always do.
So, welcome home. I guess
I never left.
Right. Well, we can fast forward through the tour then. The Abbey is still, well, you know, the Abbey. Basic stuff. Dorms, war room, library, a few places to chill, and, whatever the hell the Forge is. Have to say, for a haunted transient castle raised on the cursed grounds of Old Salem, it's pretty cozy. Of course, that doesn't stop us from adding some improvements. We can all thank Robbie for the Wi-Fi. Oh, and one more thing. We've got some new house guests now. You think we're a fun bunch, just wait until you meet them. Speaking of, we're here.
The war room.
Yeah, okay. Spend 10 minutes in this place alone, Bruce, then see. Oh, gotta go. Show's about to begin.
Okay.
You should probably go talk to Caretaker. I think she's already got plans for your first mission. I mean, technically you were here first, but don't expect any special treatment. Caretaker will have you mopping the floors and hauling trash whether you're 2 or 200. Caretaker's home for wayward sorcerers, scientists, and slayers. Meh, sounds like something Doctor Strange would come up with.
Crazy indeed.
Lots of new blood around here. Some seriously powerful headliners.
Powerful, yes. But how powerful, we will see.
Big personalities, too.
I think you mean big egos.
But none of that matters unless they can help us get to Wanda.
Obviously, they heard the
There
news.
isn't time for a refresher, much less that sort of training regime. You'll have to trust that the Hunter's past experience is enough.
Taking a big risk with your chosen one.
You act as if I'm thrilled with the situation. If you're concerned, then be all the more vigilant out there.
Easy for you to say.
Nothing about any of this is easy, Blade.
Yeah? Tell that to Wanda.
So, crazy day, huh?
Crazy indeed.
Lots of new blood around here.
Ah,
Some seriously powerful headliners.
Repeating that, so.
Powerful, yes. But how powerful, we will see.
How about you guys?
Big personalities, too.
I think you mean big egos.
But none of that matters unless they can help us get to Wanda.
Well, you guys have something to say, I'm sure.
So that was Lilith, huh? She has a real 90s album cover vibe.
1690s, maybe. Hard to believe she's the Hunter's mother.
Resemblance dwindles when one is twisted by Chthon's power.
Whose power?
Chthon, the Elder God.
Is Chthon the elder god of metal bands?
No.
Tony, read your briefings.
Relax, I'm just spinning him up.
You think now's really the time for that? I nearly broke my hand on Lilith's face. She didn't even flinch.
The more dangerous the foe, the funnier I get.
That's debatable.
You following me, Doc? Maybe you should go introduce yourself to the young'uns.
I'm sure they know of the Sorcerer Supreme, and I wasn't following you.
How long have you two been sharing a room now? A day?
Oh, I don't know. What do you say, Doc? 6, 7 hours?
6 hours, 43 minutes, 8 seconds. And counting.
Wow, and you're already bouncing off each other like an old married couple.
Careful now, you're gonna make his cape jealous.
It's a cloak, not a cape, and it definitely wouldn't be jealous of you.
I'm calling it now. You two are gonna be best friends before this thing is over.
Yeah, they're bickering already.
I know it's a lot to take in, but you'll get the hang of it.
No signs of muscle atrophy. You seem pretty healthy for a reanimated corpse. You sure you're not a time-traveling robot? Did someone give you a cup of coffee at least? I know I'm useless in the morning without a little boost. We could probably have one of these witches or warlocks magic you over a barista.
First of all,
I must admit, Hunter, having studied the tomes and read of your exploits in the past, it had never occurred to me that we might someday face Lilith together.
if you only knew.
I imagine Caretaker will have a hard time putting you at risk so soon after your awakening, but I doubt Lilith will leave her much of a choice. Unfortunately, time is of the essence, otherwise I'd gladly offer to walk you through some of the more pivotal events that have changed the world since you last saw it.
The last thing I thought I'd be doing this morning was bashing Hydra heads across the Sanctum Sanctorum. I am so glad I decided to wash my hero pants last night. It's almost impossible to imagine the horror, the atrocities committed on these grounds all those years ago. Then again, we are less than 20 miles from Fenway Park.
I imagine Caretaker will have a hard time putting you at risk so soon after your awakening.
I give it about 5 minutes before Tony starts in with his ye old joke material. Sorry, Hunter. Never should have taken him to medieval times.
Dinner theater. Heh heh.
If I were you, I'd probably be looking for a hot shower after spending 300 years in a tomb.
Yeah.
Just remember, if it came down to it, your blood would make a mighty fine vintage.
That's not subtle at all.
I wish we could get you settled in, but things are already pretty hectic around here, kiddo. Starting to feel like the old days again, which we both know is not a good thing. You know I wouldn't have woken you if it wasn't serious. We'll have time to catch up later. I kept your old room just the way you left it.
I hope you dusted. Okay, here we go, kids.
Prophecies be damned. It's good to see that face again. You look like it was yesterday.
And you look older. How long was I in that crypt, Sarah?
No more than a few centuries. You were missed.
Centuries? And what of Lilith?
Fallen by your hand. Until now.
Yeah, so speaking of Lilith.
Tony?
What? The kid's literally speaking of Lilith.
Tony.
That's my name.
Tony. That's Carol and Dr. Spooky over there. Here to help.
Help with what, exactly?
Oh, I don't know. Throwing the magic amulet into the volcano? Smiting the dragon mother? You tell us, kid. You are the chosen one, after all.
Do you recall anything of that last encounter, child?
There was a voice. The rest is hazy.
Oh, a voice. That's it? A voice? That's what we have to go on?
Results of your long crypt sleep, most likely.
A minor inconvenience. Everything required to restore those memories is contained within my sanctum. I will simply alert Wanda to prepare the necessary rituals.
What? Straight to voicemail?
Some sorcerer supreme.
Must be mystical interference caused by this little pocket dimension of yours.
Perhaps Agatha can help.
Allow me. Alato.
Whoa, what kind of network you running there?
The all-seeing eye of Ereshkigal who judges, bound to enchanted Babylonian soul glass.
We just call it the mirror table.
Wanda!
The dark force, pushing against the wards. Stephen, where are you?
That's impossible. Nothing on Earth could possibly affect those wards.
Wanda's in trouble.
Wanda is trouble.
I'll go.
You'll need my help, of course.
Then let us make haste, Dr. Spooky. Our hunt begins now.
Alright, I'll get you started. Okay. New region available. A new region is now available at the mirror table. Missions can now appear in any region that has been unlocked. Not likely, but we will have them. We've got Transia, we've got American Southwest, and we have, of course, New York City, which is our story mission area. So, that's how Plus has it. These wouldn't exist otherwise. So, the first one's Sanctum Symbiotum.
With everything going on right now, we simply cannot afford to lose contact with the Sanctum or Wanda.
Oh, you admit that? Okay. The Sanctum Sanctorum contains many powerful artifacts which must be protected. Doctor Strange needs to return to the Sanctum, find Scarlet Witch, and stabilize the wards. Now, of course, the first few missions are going to be locked in. You don't have a choice who's going to be in them, but we do have a choice here of to what we can take with us. And we have stuff from the old days. You don't have to have a tutorial to edit a deck if you've done this before. We have a lot of Mindbender we won't need for this. Blade Storm's always good to have. Holy Burst is good. Inspire is wonderful. Deadly Ground, I don't know if we'll need that. That said, we definitely will want another Quick Slash at this point. Let's see what else we want. Forceful Knockback isn't a bad thing to have. 25% stun. There's also damage an enemy or cure an enemy, and it's quick. On KO, gain Conceal. Not the worst either. I like Wild Strike for that. As you can see, because we're at the beginning of the story, these things aren't hundreds or, you know, these aren't hundreds of points. This is strong anyway, but, you know, we're seeing 48, 57. Forceful Knockback with block. I still would rather have something like that over something that's going to remove a card. Let's see. I like 25% to stun. I'm a big knockback person, as you know. Well, if you don't know, I'm a big knockback person. So, you know what? I might do charge in this case. But this one has forceful knockback and 24 for a force, and on KO gain block. Yeah. Next, Doctor Strange. He does have his passive intact, so he can, half the time, a turn might start with some nice stuff. Let's see. We definitely want to have the Shield of the Seraphim. We definitely want Crimson Bands of Satorak, because with a name like Sanctum Symbiotum, you can be sure we're going to have to deal with Venom at some point, maybe. And if that's the case, you might want to hold him down. I would like to have 2 Winds of Watum at this time. So, that's something to consider. So I don't know if we necessarily need this, because Hunter has all that kind of stuff. But it would be nice to have another Winds of Watum. Now, they're not giving us an opportunity to customize their outfits, but we don't need that right now. Now, in his case, Blade, I would like to have another quick card on him. There's a quick strike, but it's not updated, but that's the way it goes, right? Glaive, stake. I like the chains on him. The chain ones. This is chain 4. But we don't want too much heroism. We're not going to make that much heroism. So this takes 29. This takes 32. The target has block, additional damage. That's pretty good. I would do that and then put quick strike, a second quick strike. Okay, so that for now is not a bad idea. And he also has a passive. Attacks and heroics have a 25% chance to apply bleed. Okay, let's go. We don't have combat items yet. That's another thing to look forward to.
Even given the fluctuations in the astral spectrum, I should be seeing something. Unless Bruce is right about gamma interference. If such a thing could even exist. The wards have been activated before, and I've never experienced such a reaction. Or perhaps I have simply erased that timeline so as not to affect my own destiny. I am quite efficient with my future and past selves in that regard. Are you ready? The prophecy of the Midnight Sun does not linger, and neither should we. Lilith possesses the Darkhold. If she forced her way into my Sanctum Sanctorum once, I suspect she can do it again.
You are a sorcerer supreme. Can you not predict her movements?
Normally, yes. But since your mother breached the sanctum, my sense of the future has grown volutinous in nature.
Is that another language, or...?
Fuzzy. My predictions are fuzzy. For the first time as Sorcerer Supreme, I cannot foresee how the future unfolds, and with my apprentice in danger, we cannot tarry.
Your sanctum will survive. We shall see to that.
Indeed, the Sanctum Sanctorum has weathered its fair share of trouble over the years. Blaze storms, a few short-tempered celestials, that issue with the zoning commission. This time, it feels different. I do not doubt Wanda's capability, but without my predictive acumen, I cannot bolster the wards should she need it. Still, the wards are woven into the sanctum's very essence. They should hold. In any case, all will be revealed with time. I suggest we make use of it while it still functions.
Now, it's a bit weird with him because, you know, the Hunter, 300 years ago, you think she's going to understand that fuzzy means unclear as opposed to something hairy? Yeah, she would have known volutinous. She would have known a Latin term.
About time.
Not just about time, Mr. Brooks. Time, space, reality, the building blocks of magic. All must be constant for my portals to work properly, yet as we now know, that is no longer the case.
We've heard.
Several times.
Otherwise, I would still be hunting dread maidens in my sleep.
Indeed. And while I certainly appreciate the view of this vista, I fail to see how it will hasten our return to the sanctum.
Magic is the answer.
No, as I've just stated, magic is the problem.
Your magic is. Not ours. The ground you are standing on exists within two worlds. A mystical anchor point to Ileana's realm that allows her to... Well, I'll just let her show you.
Any more questions?
Okay.
We should hurry. As much as I'd love to hear a first-hand account of your exploits, time is of the essence, I'm afraid. The power coming from behind this portal is tremendous. I am surprised this magic and I have never crossed paths before. At least at the bar with no doors.
Actually, they did in the comics.
I don't care what Strange says. I'm only going to the sanctum to give Wanda some backup. This should be an easy warm-up for a legendary killer like yourself.
Wanda can maintain the wards, I'm certain of that. But perhaps we shouldn't linger?
Good idea. Let's do it.
You are standing in limbo. Nexus of all realities, both real or otherwise. A chaotic but secret realm, beyond the influence of Lilith. Thus far.
Are you certain of that? Because I am sensing all kinds of...
Dark energy. That feeling you're being watched. General hellhole vibe.
Yes.
All these potentialities converging at once? Truly surprising feat, Miss Rasputin. For someone so young, of course.
Yeah, alternate reality hunter.
You think this is crazy? Wait until you see Manhattan.
From here, magic can open gateways to just about anywhere on our planet, and beyond. We don't want to risk punching through the wards protecting your sanctum, Doctor, so we've chosen a safe exit a few blocks over instead.
Couldn't be worse than the last time.
It was just a simple miscommunication.
Ocean Avenue. I said Ocean Avenue, Magic.
Ocean Avenue. It's in Brooklyn. Oops. The Atlantic Ocean is also near Brooklyn. This is going to be interesting with all those cards. Even dialed back, they're pretty strong. I don't think the queue goes that far south.
Hey, I'm walking here. All I ate today was a bagel.
Do we look like tourists to you? Urgh.
Well, at least we know the wards of protection are still in place.
Don't say that. That jinxes something.
For now.
I suggest we hurry.
Of course.
Arm Alpha in position.
Hydra officer, not your average Hydra goon. Translation.
No one's getting through.
Welcome to New York.
Defeat all enemies to complete the encounter. Now, let's
I hesitate to call this good news, but I'm seeing minimal Hydra resistance between you and the Sanctum.
Looks can be deceiving, I'm afraid. There's no way these foot soldiers are behind the disruption of the wards of protection.
Well. Let's see what we got here. We've got... Who we lined up with here? That probably... Strange. That. Now we're gonna have actual use of these in full rules. A quick card is something that if you knock anybody out with your maneuver, the card play is refunded. That's what I meant about the fact that even if it says you have 3 card plays, you may well be using more than 3 cards. You can still do them? Great, take them down.
By the will of the old gods.
You can see, because we took one of them down...
I'm skeptical of your chances, but stranger things have happened.
We still have 3 card plays. Now, what else do we have? We have Slash, which is a regular slash, not a quick slash. I don't think we're going to need this today. Vapors of Valtor? I don't think we'll need that either, to be perfectly honest. There's nobody here to hide. Well, Doctor Strange could hide, but do we need that? Haha! You know, this is a really fun card. It's one of my favorites, and it's free. Basically, what you do is you take this card and put it on somebody, and they will attack the other characters and take them down for you twice. So let's see, what do we have? Of course, this is the guy in charge, so if this guy shoots this guy twice, very nice. You never see that in this level. So that, now he has 18 left. I like that. Grr. Let's see now. This one is 20. This one's 18. This one is nothing because he's a minion. And this one's a 14. Now, we do have a good vantage point for Doctor Strange to vault using this item. And this person has... it's 15 and that's 14? Hold on. Are you saying we can't use Doctor Strange for this? Was this guy, like, out of range? Is that it? Oh, it says he's good. Oh, how odd. They won't let me, maybe he's out of range that we can't do that. No, I would not use that on a minion. Why would I waste that on a minion? So, see, this one's 14. I would still use that one. You can still take them out. There's not much else you can do. It's not a free card. I'm about to get a free card, though.
Hail that.
Or will we? Will we need to? I don't think we're gonna have a problem. So let's do this. Let's put Agamotto's gaze for the yucks.
Watch closely.
We're gonna defeat them in one turn. We'll get some of our cards back.
The light shines on the most dutiful.
And use this one to take them all out.
They do not stand a chance.
Whoever trained you did a damn good job.
By the way, when you use that and a hero's in there, they get health too.
Misguided as they are, remember, Hydra is still human, Hunter. Not Lilin.
You were saying?
The lifeblood of the Mother pumps through our veins. The Mother is eternal. Hydra is eternal.
Wanna bet?
Wanda!
Wards! Weakening! Cannot let them fail!
Neighborhood Association is not going to like this.
No.
I'll handle it.
Or not. We do not fear your magic, little wizard. We have answered the Mother's call. We are Venom to all who oppose her. And you are lunch.
We are Venom, and you are lunch. Time for some cooking tips with Venom. Defeat Fallen Venom. To complete the mission, Fallen Venom's symbiote binds can be broken by attacking them with hero abilities. You also don't know, when he has a question mark, you don't know who he's going to attack at the end of the turn, and he may attack twice. He usually does.
Well,
unless he's bound.
Certainly escalated quickly. Do I even want to know what that beast is?
It calls itself Venom. Until now, a pale imitation of a very heroic young friend of mine.
We will feed your ugly tongue to the spider wizard, marinate it in his stomach juices, and eat it with his spleen.
Didn't I tell you? Cooking advice.
Watch me.
Leave some for the rest of us.
He even gave us something. He does not have block, but he does have a minion behind him. It's got some possibilities. How much are you? 133. You know, I can do this and hit you harder.
Pain is angry.
Symbiote skin, eh? Melee attacks against Fallen Venom can trigger his Join Us passive and activate Symbiote Skin. When Symbiote Skin is active, Fallen Venom will bind the next hero that melee attacks him. After triggering Symbiote Skin, used ranged or area attacks to reset Fallen Venom. Well, right now he's got 68. Can you think of something better we can do? Gee. I can't imagine what I could possibly want to do. That's almost not fair. You know, as soon as we can up the difficulty, we are going to do that. This is just way too easy. Even with everything
I feel more like
lower.
myself every day.
No escape from me, demon.
Hold up. We don't know what we're dealing with yet.
Such easy
Hey, big guy!
Yay, Spider-Man. Friendly, neighborly, spiderly?
I was in the neighborhood. You know, being friendly. Seemed like you folks could use a hand, Doc.
Spider-Man!
Jeez, Eddie, what happened to you? That's sort of a horrifyingly terrible new look. The tongue was gross enough, but whoa! Someone is extra touchy today.
We will rip your face off and suck the marrow from your bones!
Always nice to see you too, buddy. So, I'm thinking your friends here could use a little break. How about I take Eddie here for his afternoon walk? Don't worry, Doc. That's just his way of saying he cares!
Imagine. I just used my pinky on this one. Okay, let's just... Oh, it's actually the name of it on here. Look at that. What they call the stinger text, the actual name of the... Let's do something about that black backdrop. Ooh. Oh, that just does not work. Oh, these are not colors I would pick. Where's that white we had? That was probably the best. Photo roll. Hey, hey. I just don't even keep the text anymore because I want to use these as pictures they can put in frames in the quarters of the various heroes. Except that since it had the name of the mission, I thought that would be kind of cool to have that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Someone's not happy.
Congratulations.
New world or not, some things remain unchanged.
The look.
What look?
Boldly charging headfirst into the jaws of your enemy. Courageously risking the lives of yourself and your teammates. Just to play the hero. This is the Fire Dragon all over again.
Fire Dragoon. My memories may be fragmented, but as I recall, I killed the bastard.
And all it cost was a village.
Of course. I see it now. The look.
Cut him some slack. It wasn't that simple.
It never is. Which is why I sent you to help. If Spider-Man hadn't come along today, we could have lost far more than
the Sanctum?
Or Wanda.
She means I could have died. Again, putting an end to her eternal crusade against my mother.
You've been through a lot. For now, it's enough that you all made it back in one piece. More or less. We'll talk more later. Get some rest.
Meh.
Not to be the nagging old lady, but I told you not to push too hard. Now that things have settled down, you should get some rest. It won't always be this quiet. Now that things have settled down, you should get some rest.
An impressive first outing, just as I had expected. You're going to do great things, Hunter. Not the outcome I envisioned for our first mission together, but you know what they say. any mystical battle you can teleport away from. Given my situation, for now I suppose this truly is my home away from home.
You did okay out there, considering you were technically dead 72 hours ago. Not bad, Hunter. Not bad at all. You should probably head inside. Take it easy before we have to go out again.
Oh.
Can't hurt to warm up on Hydra's flunkies. You've got an endless supply of practice dummies to beat on.
That might be true. Thanks, guys. Ooh. You know, it never hurts to start foraging early. I got a mushroom. And speaking of...
Hunter, you look scathed. Hey, for what it's worth, I think you did okay out there. You got some decent hang time, even given you were wearing, what, 70, 80 pounds of chainmail? On the Stark scale of reckless yet daring heroics, I give it a solid 6 out of 10. Don't worry, you'll get there. With a little help.
Get there?
And where exactly am I going?
Oh, that's the real question, isn't it? Sky's the limit for you, my friend. Unless you'd be up for wearing a space helmet. You do breathe air, don't you? You know what? It doesn't matter. I couldn't help but overhear Auntie Caretaker over there telling you to get some rest. That sounds like a good idea to me. I suppose I could keep you company on the way, seeing as our rooms are in the same direction and all. Besides, no one should be forced to walk the hallways around here alone.
Poor guy. He's so scared.
So, here we are. The old room, huh? It's not bad. Functional. Solid construction. Almost cozy. Love the antique furnishings from the early Mephisto collection.
Yeah.
Full transparency, Hunter, there's another reason I asked to join you here, other than my abject terror of this entire facility. Stopped here before, while you were out. Wanted to surprise you with a nice little housewarming present. Was all set to write you a lovely welcome note, but I'm fairly certain that wasn't red ink in your quill.
Poor guy.
But I do not have a quill.
Even better.
Relax, Tony. I simply jest. It is an ink derived of the spider lily flower. Red spider lily flowers.
Of course it was. Obviously.
With just a touch of amphibian blood. For power.
Haha! Another zinger. And we'll just leave it at that. Well, I suppose I should leave before whatever monstrosity that is most definitely hiding under your bed jumps out, rips my face off, and then proceeds to feast on my soul. I'll leave you to it.
May your sleep be filled with pleasant dreams, Tony.
Right back at you. Oh, and if you hear the shrieking of a grown man, please ignore it. It's just me, walking to my room.
This is about where I would tell you, and I am going to tell you, there are formidable heroes and there are squishy heroes. And in the Abbey, without his armor, Tony's the most vulnerable of them. He doesn't have superpowers. In fact, he's got health problems. So, in addition to the fact that he doesn't trust or believe in magic, and of course, there it is staring in the face and it doesn't make sense to him, he is extremely vulnerable and afraid of it. So here we go. Let's see what he sent us.
Hi, I'm Tony Stark, but if you're hearing this message, you already know that. When I'm not saving the world, I solve the world's problems with technological means, like the one you're holding. I call it the Spark, a secure information and communication device built only for superheroes. It does all the usual, private messages, pictures, and calls for some reason. But it also comes with access to Superlink, a private social network exclusively for your cape-wearing, world-saving compatriots. You might ask, Tony, aren't you just repurposing a failed product from your communications division? If you do, I'll revoke access and let everyone else know you're a jerk. I call it the Wonder Man rule.
So, Superlink is your connection to the rest of your team, a social network just for superheroes. Check Superlink frequently for updates from other heroes in the Abbey. And I guess we could figure out what kind of person Robbie Reyes is. First post! How old are you, Robbie? What do you mean? We've had Superlink for months now. We use it every day. I mean, first post that the hunter sees. Robbie, you can't keep doing this when someone new joins Superlink. Yes, I can. He means he will throw your spark in the lagoon. He wouldn't do that. Right, Blade? Right, Blade? Fine. Last time. And, Ileana, first we make Wanda leave, now we leave her to die. Some heroes. I assure you that is not the case. She was sent to you for protection. I see how that worked, Supreme Sorcerer. We both know it's more complicated than that, Miss Rasputin. I took Wanda as my apprentice for a reason. Have faith she can handle herself. Strange did everything he could to get to Wanda. So did I. And the hunter. Take a breath, Ileana. We'll get her back soon enough. Wanda should be here, with us. Of that I am in agreement. And yeah, I'm going to do bad impersonations so they sound different when I read them. So bear with it. I am not a professional voiceover artist. I don't think they hire anybody with autoimmune disorders and a great deal of congestion. Anyway, that's nice to have. And also what it will do is it will put your latest cover, or whatever you have for cover, on the side, and your history of them will be here. Photo booth is another photo mode, photo booth, postcards. Right now we only have one, but photo mode is when you can take pictures when you shouldn't. So let's see what we have around here. There's a journal page. We are going to be collecting journal pages. Hunter's Journal, April 3rd, 1703. Aunt Sarah wants me to practice my letters, and so here I am. But every time I dip this pen in ink, I just want more and more to go out beyond the yard into my secret spots. I left my dolls scattered about before the storm, and I'm afraid they're hurt. Do dolls hold grudges? Agatha says they don't, but I still feel sad for them. And there are 12 of them.
My old journal. Maybe it is time I start writing in it again.
So there are 12 journal entries that we're going to be looking for Hunter, but other people have them as well.
We were all so happy then.
Oh, so she did have lighter hair. This is interesting because this is Agatha. Agatha likes purple, and a pet hellhound, right? But Sarah is somebody. She's my aunt. When he says auntie caretaker, that's my auntie caretaker. And let's see what we have here. Technically, we should have everything we had in our previous game, right?
There never was enough room for my armor in this thing.
But anything that I already had in the previous game is purchased, and I have them. Sure. Go to sleep. Well, I'm not done yet. I want my purple bed. Thank you. And anything I've already... Oh, well, these are all back to start, which is okay. But you know what? There's a dog bed down here, and maybe it belongs to that hound in the painting. It's dank and 300 years old. Why would I expect anything to do that? So... I'm gonna wait. We want just the basics right now. And we're instructed to go to bed. Here we go.
They are everywhere! We must fall back! To where?
The book! Is she reading from the book? Then we advance. No! Hold the line! I can stop her! Only I can stop her!
Charlie! I know. I missed you too.
Let her enjoy the moment. She's been visiting your door every morning for the past 300 years.
Oh, it must have been so hard on her.
Not just her. I suppose that's why I might have been a little curt before.
A little?
You already made the ultimate sacrifice once. Maybe I'm in no rush to see you do it again.
We do not choose our destiny.
But we can choose to duck.
First lesson you ever taught me.
And still the most important. Especially now that you have all these eyes on you.
I have noticed.
To these people, you are a being of myth and legend. A grand hero of old. And they're right. You are a hero. But I also know the battle that rages within your soul. It's not enough that you are a hero. You need to decide what type of hero you will be. I'm sure there will be plenty of opportunity for that in the days to come. For now, I would head to the forge. Our new guests are eager to show you something. This was a lot easier when it was just you and I beheading the Dark Legion as we traipsed through the woods.
Don't forget about Agatha.
I never could.
Ooh, hello, doggy.
Charlie was restless all night. I should have known something was wrong. We'll talk more later, but for now, Stark has requested your presence in the forge. I think he has another present for you.
Oh, well, first things first. Hello, little doggy. I haven't seen you in a while. 300 years.
Who's a good girl? It is my Charlie girl.
Oh, little hellhound doggy. Look at that. The doggy paid us. Now, you don't turn down free money. And you may say, why do I have to pet the dog? And the dog, just like our heroes, is a friend. They actually have abilities that we don't have access to. The dog has access to, but without opposable thumbs, she doesn't have access. Right? She doesn't. And when we pet her, she gets happier, we bond, and improves her abilities, and you get rewards. You don't have to physically get up from your chair when you're playing the game. You just have to do a few keystrokes on your keyboard or, use your controller. So take advantage of that. Once or twice a day, go over and pet her. She's a good dog. I usually do in the morning, and then maybe after the mission at night, I'll go. So, before I go, I'm going to check and see things. Number one, I should have ability to the common chests. If everything's been carried over in Game Plus, I don't have to use it. And it looks like some of the stuff I bought originally are coming back. Look for arcane chests on the Abbey grounds and unlock them with keys. Arcane chests reset periodically, so return to previously opened chests to see if you can open them again. The higher the arcane level, the more rewards each arcane chest will have. And since we carried over our arcane level, the common and rare chests are free for us. But you know what? I like to check in the mornings because sometimes a hero has their room open. I don't know if they're brushing their teeth somewhere, whatever. One of these unmarked rooms might be, a community bathroom, but there might be somebody with a room open. For instance, this one. Now, this happens to be Deadpool's room, and he's got his, pet pinata plushie, and he's got really cool sheets I wouldn't mind having myself, and pizza and bombs. That's pretty much him. So something to look forward to. Oh, look, he's been making hand puppets, finger puppets. He did use finger puppets in his mission, the previous one, so I guess we'll get to that. That'll be fun. He's a bit of a goof. In fact, I'm very curious to hear what he says about this, since he's a fourth wall type character.
Hey.
Next thing I know, the Sanctum is airborne and covered in slime.
I don't get it. Strange couldn't just magic his way in?
Something about the whole alien thing threw off his mojo.
That explains so much. No wonder he gets so strange around me. See what I did there?
I'm a vampire. I see everything.
This is gonna be a fun apocalypse.
Why, hello, Hunter.
Hello.
Oh, check out Blade making nice with the big guns.
I thought Caretaker told him no more guns in the house.
Captain Marvel is an exception.
So, he's supposed to be playing nice, right?
Right, and now Stark is hard at work in the Forge coming up with something for the Hunter?
The Hunter needs it after that last beating.
Man, can't wait till it's my turn for an upgrade.
Prepare for a long wait.
For all of us. Or hasn't it sunk into that flaming skull of yours yet?
Hey, don't take it so personally. It's not like they forgot about us.
We'll see.
Okay. Well, kids.
Do I look like a Tony?
I think they really want me to go there.
Tony? Not that it makes any difference to me, but I think Tony's waiting for you, Hunter. He seemed excited.
She has a bit of a grudge, but the only one who's trouble is Tony.
Hola.
Hey, ¿qué tal?
Heard about what happened in New York, Hunter. I'm sure whatever Tony's cooking up down there will only help.
Thank you. Oh, now, a whole mess of heroes are around. We've got Captain America and Wanda ogling the Cloak of Levitation, which is kept carefully in a display case. And we got a mess of heroes out there in the yard. Certainly not enough, because there are a lot of others that are not accounted for here. Curious. I do want to hear what Deadpool says. It looks like he's doing chin-ups. This is the critical juncture. Uh-oh, they're talking. Not to interrupt your prepared remarks, but, hold this. And where are you going? Oh, I'm just going to stand over there until the thing finishes cooking. Tony? That magic of yours, you get any kind of advanced radiological or chemical protection out of that? Tony? Almost there. You're doing great, Doc. Tony? And we're done. See, that wasn't so bad. You can stop bearing your knowledge now. Jeez. So, that's not audible from here, but that is going on, and we have access to it. Oh, look at that. See, we got Morbius. This is Eddie Brock, a.k.a. Venom. And we've got Deadpool. Deadpool, what you got to say?
If I sneak up on Iron Man and go, boo, would he piss himself? I gotta know.
Oh my god, that's so awesome. I want to be there when he tries.
You're getting there, Hunter.
Oh my god, that was so great.
Slow and steady wins the race. They also die first. Baby steps for the freshly reborn demon hunter.
I really should have taken
Don't
a
worry
picture
if you're
of
not
that.
as buff as me. One day,
I'm not as buff.
insert motivational quote here. A new member to Haze. Don't worry, I'll be gentle. Hey, if we get enough members, we could start a cult. Looks like the cat dragged in a new friend for Deadpool.
Oh, he got nothing more to say. His mouth is limited. I was hoping he'd say something, but I did not see that coming.
Now?
Think you can tell your friend inside there to turn it up a few hundred Kelvin?
I could. However, it might shatter the containment spell preventing him from incinerating this facility.
I think we're good. And just in time.
The Forge has certainly changed.
Right. Caretaker said this all happened after your siesta. What spooky castle would be complete without its own Babylonian demon-powered furnace?
Sumerian fire demon. His name is Babs.
Oh, now it all makes sense. Well, once you get past the esoteric terror of the situation, I've found this thing actually has some uses. Molecular bonding, breaking down evil gamma serums, fashion accessorizing.
Yes, speaking of...
Oh, right. It's ready.
Your armor seemed to offer minimal protection against the venom creature.
I noticed.
Yeah, I thought you could use an upgrade.
Well hammered. Well fired. Caretaker did not mention that you two were such skilled smithies.
Yep. I am Iron Smithy.
Perhaps you should just try it on. Still think it could have used a cloak.
Stylish, damn near indestructible, and we even got the size right. Not bad for our first collaboration.
I still think it could have benefited from a cloak.
You think everything could benefit from a cloak?
I do not.
Oh, I've heard the things you whisper to your cape when you think no one's listening.
The joys of sharing a workspace. And I'll have you know this cloak has helped me save the universe from extinction on countless occasions.
Could you at least tell it to stop rearranging things on my side of the cave?
I have, but it considers you something of a slob.
You know, I have a great psychiatrist in the city. Maybe you should talk to him. Although, I think he's working for Hydra right now.
You can't say that when you ask somebody to tell their cape to stop rearranging stuff on your side.
Need to unburden, Hunter?
Hey, this is Wanda and Steve. Steve, Wanda, people viewing.
Curious.
Strange's cloak, hello. One of Strange's capes, suspended in an ornate glass case. The cape floats in the air, rippling slightly, though the air is still. And let's make it clear, unlike what the writers have been putting here, he's not Liberace, he doesn't wear cloaks as a fashion statement. This thing is a sentient, magical relic, and he wears it out of function and doesn't have to wear a cloak, as you see. And before that he had a blue one, and when he was gifted this by the Ancient One for defeating Dormammu, he swapped it out. He didn't go, oh, I think in this issue, with this adventure, I'm going to put the old blue one on. I'm accessorizing. He does not do that. So don't take that with a grain of salt. The Orb of Agamotto. It's a sister to the amulet. The amulet was gifted at the same time as the cloak in the comics by the Ancient One, but he always had the Orb of Agamotto, one of the few artifacts recovered from the Sanctum Sanctorum. A powerful energy emanates from the inside as the orb seems to rotate indefinitely. This is something that he does use to help him see what's going on out there in the future. Ooh, free money! Free stuff! We loves free stuff. So, that still should be something of use to him. Anyway, who wants to talk?
Ah, Hunter. Word? Hunter, your new attire suits you quite well. But how are you holding up on the inside? I know it's easy to look upon me and simply see the universe's utmost authority on all things mystical and macabre, Hunter. However, in addition to being Earth's Sorcerer Supreme, I am also your doctor.
You mean a physician of the medical arts? You jest.
I assure you, Hunter, I do not jest. They don't call me Mr. Strange, now do they? Except for Tony. Your awakening ritual was admittedly a touch more chaotic than I had originally intended, and, well, after your violent encounter with Venom, my oath to Hippocrates compels me to check in with you. Simply put, how do you feel?
Feelings are irrelevant. I have a job to do. Well, we are not robots. We will not use that. Like I woke up on the wrong side of the grave? It's one of those things you're trained to endure.
You lost much yesterday, Doctor. I am the one who should be asking you how you are feeling.
I appreciate that, Hunter. I admit I did not expect the child of Lilith to have the capacity for such empathy. And you're right, of course. I, for one, do not know if I will ever feel 100% again after the events of yesterday. I still can't believe what transpired. The Sanctum, all that knowledge, Wanda, lost. Swallowed whole by the black mouth of that foul Venom creature. With all my resources, all my gifts, I should have seen this outcome spelled out in the sacred geometry of this universe years ago. But I miscalculated.
Again, the...
Lilith's power has placed a dark shroud over us all, Doctor. You are not alone in this.
Your words are appreciated. Still, I must not allow the underlying truth of the situation to become shrouded as well. It's not just the Sanctum Sanctorum that was lost yesterday. It was my protege, Wanda. She is my charge, my responsibility, and I failed her. But I am determined not to let that happen with you, Hunter, which is why I am here to answer any questions you may have. Perhaps my wisdom may benefit you more than it has me thus far.
Let's make believe that Wanda is not in the room, okay?
That creature on the roof, you have run into it before?
Unfortunately, yes. In the simplest of terms, Venom is an alien species living in symbiosis with a human known as Eddie Brock. He's something of a fixture in New York these days, but typically his hijinks are confined to harassing Spider-Man.
How does Eddie feel about this arrangement?
He seems to relish the experience. And under Lilith's spell, they've clearly become more cohesive than ever before.
We're gonna go back into that for another answer.
That creature on the roof, you have run into it before?
Unfortunately, yes. In the simplest of terms, Venom is an alien species living in symbiosis with a human known as Eddie Brock. He's something of a fixture in New York these days, but typically his hijinks are confined to harassing Spider-Man.
It sounds like Spider-Man is Venom's nemesis. Maybe he has some insight.
Of course. I have no doubt Spider-Man will prove to be an invaluable asset in the ongoing fight against both Venom and Lilith.
How did Wanda come into your care?
Wanda's story is quite tragic and perhaps not mine to tell. There was an accident on the Abbey grounds not long ago involving Agatha.
I feel like everyone is avoiding mention of Agatha.
I can't say I'm surprised, but I'm afraid it's really not my place. You should speak to Sarah about her when you're ready.
How did Wanda come into your care?
Wanda's story is quite tragic and perhaps not mine to tell. There was an accident on the Abbey grounds not long ago involving Agatha.
That must have been some accident.
Agatha had been teaching Wanda, hoping she would learn to control her immense but very raw power. As their training progressed, Wanda was encouraged to push herself further. Eventually, she pushed too far.
We'll do one more.
How did Wanda come into your care?
It's important to our story.
Wanda's story is quite tragic and perhaps not mine to tell. There was an accident on the Abbey grounds not long ago involving Agatha.
And you have been keeping an eye on her?
You make it sound like I've been guarding her. My role here is merely one of friendship for as long as she needs it. One thing is certain, she refuses to step foot on the Abbey grounds for any reason.
Tell me about your Sanctum's wards of protection. I have never heard of a protection spell that powerful.
In your time, I'm sure you've encountered a variety of minor wards and protective spells. The Sanctum Sanctorum was shielded by one such incantation, but greatly amplified by the convergence of ley lines.
Ley lines?
Often dismissed as pseudoscience in the modern day, ley lines actually represent the convergence of magical energies formed within the Earth itself. Ancient civilizations built their temples along these lines, tapping into the power flowing through them. Two such lines converge at the Sanctum's location. Needless to say, the wards benefit greatly.
Tell me about your Sanctum's wards of protection. I have never heard of a protection spell that powerful.
In your time, I'm sure you've encountered a variety of minor wards and protective spells. The Sanctum Sanctorum was shielded by one such incantation, but greatly amplified by the convergence of ley lines.
And no one has ever broken the spell? Ever?
There's always a first for everything, but I had honestly never imagined a scenario in which the wards could be broken. Perhaps it was arrogance on my part, but Lilith is among the more cunning enemies we've ever faced.
Let us talk later.
Visit whenever you like. It's not often I get to converse with a true legend.
Now, most of the time when you get a set of menus from a hero early on, they include their origins, and he had none. In my very first playthrough, I actually came to him while he was doing target practice in the yard, and he actually, in a series of captions, told of his origin as a surgeon, of the accident and everything. So it's there somewhere. I hadn't been able to unlock it in the second playthrough, but maybe I started too late, so we'll see.
Hunter, buddy, talk to me.
Well, you talk to me. You want to talk to me.
I hate to admit it, but somehow this ancient forge puts any arc reactor I've got to shame. Who would have thought mystically bound demon power would be so damn energy efficient? Or carbon neutral? Certainly got that new suit of yours done a lot faster than I expected. Speaking of, what's the verdict, boss?
Tell me about this demon. Why is it there?
Well, you would probably know more about that than me. I'm still working on a way to keep track of everything that goes bump in the night around here. Whatever they've got trapped down there. It's hotter than hell by a few thousand Kelvin, very pissed off, and really good at weaving synthetic microblends. But tools are just one part of the equation. You gotta know how to use them too. You were out, what, 300 years before we woke you from your eternal rest? I'm betting you have questions, so ask away, Hunter.
Okay.
Is all this magic a threat to your new technology?
It might surprise some people to hear this, but I do like some things with rules. Isotope decay, magnetic fields, and gamma oscillation make a lot more sense to me than Eye of Newt, bat wings, and a sprinkle of sunshine. At least they did before everything changed.
Gamma seems to be a recurring theme these days.
Oh, you think I'm bad? You should ask Bruce. Actually, don't. He's been really sensitive since... You know what? Never mind.
Yeah, he does a lot of name dropping and assuming you know everything. When you've been asleep for 300 years, he's going to mention Bruce Banner, he's going to mention Fin Fang Foom, and everybody else.
Seen anything strange around here?
What, other than my roommate? Boom! Roasted! But on a more serious note, this place is legitimately haunted. Mirrors look back at you. My room rearranges itself. And worst of all, magic cats.
Ooh.
Was it suspiciously elusive, even for a cat?
Actually, yes. Thought I was going crazy there for a second, but clearly I'm still firing on all cylinders. It just poofed in next to me out in the yard. Small, black, furry. Cute little thing. Probably some kind of shape-shifting monster knowing this place.
It might be.
I take it this new version is a technological marvel?
Impact-resistant carbon composites, some patent-pending alloy mesh, and a few touches from Dr. Spooky over there. And hey, the built-in communicator means we can talk to each other without sending a raven.
So it is a marvel, then?
Lightweight, nearly indestructible, and modular enough for future upgrades. Frankly, I wouldn't have used your old suit to wax the Mandarin's car.
What sorts of things are you doing in here?
Oh, that's right. You were out a while. Basically, we've got a gigantic demon inside the magic box here that provides near limitless power for whatever we might need. Sounds insane, but sometimes it's easier to just go with it.
Okay, so why not magically create a way through that symbiote shield?
Have you ever known it to work that way? We can't just wish upon a star here. We need to know what we're making first and put together the right components. Otherwise, I'd have already whipped up Strange a new personality.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody in the Abbey would like you to have a new personality because what they think.
You must have an interesting origin story of your own.
Well, just your typical American boy. Pops was a founding member of the military-industrial complex. Mom, a famous socialite. Tragedy struck when I lost them both in a car crash, which turned out to be a hit from a rival corporation. I spent my early teens at MIT, trying to clear my head, and was all set to follow in Dad's footsteps as a war profiteer. Then one day, fortune shined on me, in the form of some errant shrapnel that lodged itself just above my heart. So I did what anybody in that situation would do. I built a supersuit and started fighting crime.
I guess we have all had difficult childhoods here.
Yeah, no kidding. I can't tell you how hard it was to memorize all that at Skrull Sleeper Camp. Just kidding. Or am I?
Yeah, right. Oh, and for those who don't know, MIT is Massachusetts Institute of Technology.
Thanks for catching me up on things.
Anytime. Oh, and speaking of things, remember that creepy gamma goop you found from that hopped-up Hydra soldier? Well, I gave it a peek, and it explains a lot. If you have a minute, meet me at the anvil over there, and I'll walk you through it. I promise it'll be worth your time.
Okay. Gamma quill analysis.
Now, I doubt advanced gamma thermodynamics was a hot topic at ye old demon hunting school, so I'm just gonna give you the condensed version.
I appreciate that.
Closest I've ever seen to this substance is pumping through Bruce's veins. Part gamma accelerant, part unknown element. Calling it coil for now, given its unique atomic structure. Man, I love acronyms. This stuff is more volatile than Nick Fury on a Monday morning, but Hydra doesn't seem to mind.
They are using it to get stronger.
Exactly. A few drops would make your average salamander look like Fin Fang Foom. Thankfully, with a little help from Dr. Spooky and our haunted oven over here, I think two can play at this game.
You are not suggesting we start injecting ourselves with it.
No, nothing like that. Though I can see some future applications for my energy drink line. I was thinking we apply this stuff towards upgrading our equipment.
I like where this is going.
Just give me a little time here and I can whip up some pretty fun toys. How about we give Hydra a taste of their own gamma-powered medicine for a change?
Okay.
Ooh, new coil. Let's get to work.
There's no reason why we can't do this one, and then in the future, when we upgrade, start doing it again.
What do you think?
Okay. Well, they're all gonna be commons. They're white. And blue ones are rare, purple ones are epic, and orange ones are legendary. So that's what we have right now. And I'm inclined to take one of these just so I could salvage it, because we've got everything, I think.
Hunter, when you have a minute, come meet me in the yard.
Oh. You've gained a new combat ability for a hero. Open their hero screen to equip this new ability. The hero screen can be opened at any time of the Abbey using the number 1 on my keyboard. Oh, but it's going to it right now. Equip and salvage. Well, we're not gonna salvage him. We're gonna go to ours. I'm not gonna do anything to our buddy. Here, we don't need this. We've got good ones. Oh, we can't salvage yet. Oh, that's gotta be an ability that we have to earn. Oops. Oh. Sorry. Looks like we have access to some things now. Well, some things now. Look at that. Look at our stuff. And you know what we have? We have a super suit because we finished this previously. This is what we look like here. For now, we've got this hunter suit, and I think we can choose. Oh, we can't do this yet. Requires the armory room upgrade in the forge. So some things have to come to us at some other time. Deadpool. I wish that we had choices to also have maybe another color. I'm thinking in terms of maybe having, you know, red or something. That's Wolverine, isn't it? I'm thinking about flux capacitor. All these things I earned that I never looked at. Yeah, I think for the moment we have none. So, Everybody else can do stuff too, presumably, especially if they earned it. Right? Wow. You know, I never bought the Fifth Avenue one. Funny. But for his outfit, if I'm using the classic suit, I like when I have it and I give him this, which is closer to his comic book look. Or the Midnight Sun one, which I also had purchased a color. And it remembers. This was his colors. I was doing them based on the hero's regular colors outfits, so this was the closest thing. This also, the Defenders one, the classic one, or this one that looks almost like his regular outfit. This one. It's a bit bizarre looking, so I keep to the default on that. I never did Future Supreme. It's kind of limited, to be honest, and Stark Tech. But I'll go buy that. That's a favorite. We could look at accessorizing later. We should probably also look at Blades, since we're going to be seeing him a lot too in the beginning. Hello there.
Welcome to the yard. At least that's what we're calling it these days. Caretaker put me in charge of your training. Too bad she didn't listen to me yesterday. Now that we know what we're up against, I think we can all use the practice. Any questions?
Yeah, but they're about you.
I did, but they are about you.
Right when it's time to train? From all Sarah told us about you, she never described you as lazy.
Everyone loves you when you are dead. Tell me, does that mean you are half-loved?
Don't!
She didn't describe you as a snarky jackass, but here we are. All right, Tony Stark Jr., ask your questions.
Well, you don't worry, we'll make up for it. We'll make it up.
Can I ask about you?
I guess.
Is your name really Blade?
Is your name really the Hunter?
Yes?
Oh, really? Your mom, before she became the mother of demons, looked into your cradle and decided to name her firstborn child the Hunter.
That is how I understand it.
It takes all kinds.
So, is your name really Blade?
No.
What is it?
It's private.
Is it embarrassing?
No, the Hunter, but I only share it with friends.
You do not consider me a friend?
Not yet. Don't take it personally.
How did you become a Dampier?
You say that like I had a choice. I was born this way.
How is that possible?
A vampire bit my mother. Problem was, I was still in the womb. I'm lucky I was even born. Don't know if that's how it always is, but that's the way it went down for me.
How long have you been around?
I don't exactly know. I think of myself as mid-20s maybe. I lost a lot of time. Much of the last century was a blur. I have occasional memories, almost like coming up for air before being yanked back down into the depths.
What happened?
I killed a lot of vampires. I hadn't lost my mind exactly, but I got into a rhythm and never stopped. Never had a reason to stop. Not until I met Caretaker.
And then?
She gave me a reason to stop.
What brought you to the Abbey?
Caretaker. About 10 years ago, she brought me back to the real world. Gave me a place to stay until I came back to myself.
Did she ever say why?
She said she thought I'd be able to kill more vampires if I was acting on more than just instinct. But I know it was more than that. She gave me safe haven here at the Abbey, something I'd never known. Must have read half the books in the library by the time I headed out. So when she reached out and asked me to be part of this weird little club, of course I showed up.
Tell me about the Midnight Suns.
All right.
Why did you join? Vampire hunting is a solitary affair.
Guess I never found the right team.
Is that all?
No, but that's all I'll share for now. You really want to know? Put in the work. If I trust you, I'll have more to say.
Fair enough.
What can you tell me about the others?
Nothing. Ask them yourself.
I'm not asking you to break anyone's confidence.
Fine. Which one?
Tell me about Miko.
She's the youngest, but she acts like she's in charge.
Why let her act like that?
She's usually right, and she keeps us on track. I didn't think we'd get along, but we wouldn't be the Midnight Suns without her.
What makes you say that?
She has a lot of heart, and that's why we let her. Who else?
What about Robbie?
He's exactly what he seems. Well, sort of. He's open with people, easygoing. Sometimes that comes across as dopey, but don't get the wrong impression. He's quick to make friends, and once he does, he's your friend for life. So don't let him down, or I'll hold it against you. Who else?
Tell me what you think of Sarah.
Well, there are a few people I tolerate, even less who I like. Sarah I respect. She sees the big picture, and we're a part of it. I'd follow her to hell if I had to. And from what I understand, we may have to.
I am surprised she commands such respect.
I'm surprised that you're surprised. You know what she's like more than any of us.
I do.
Anybody else?
What do you know about magic?
Keeps to herself.
That is it?
She's a private person. Until she lets you in, that's all you need to know.
When does she let people in?
At her own pace. Respect that, and it'll happen faster than you think. Who else?
No, I think we're covered.
Nobody else.
Sure.
Is this a different question?
Do you have any thoughts on the team as a whole?
Ah, good.
I think we're the only ones aware of the danger Lilith poses to this world. And I think we're pretty green, but enough training will get us through it. Speaking of training, we doing this, or are we gonna keep wasting daylight?
I am ready to train.
Finally.
Okay. Well, there is nothing to train, is there? Because, there's nothing to train until we have, something to upgrade. And until we get the right card. There's actually a card in his deck I would like to upgrade, but we don't have a second one, so we have to just luck out. So, it looks like some of our friends are meditating. Wanda and Morbius are meditating together. There are a few that do that. So, let's see. Doctor Strange meditates. Blade meditates. We get to know a lot more about Blade, and there's a lot of Eastern philosophy and strategy and practices that that he engages in. So that definitely is something that figures in. So he is one of those. He does yoga and he does meditation.
Miko and I shared a bonding moment over my punk phase. It was endearing.
Hello, Aurora. Oh, wait a minute. She's over here. I was looking for her in the war room.
Like the way you move out there, Hunter. Guess Dr. Strange picked the right supernatural demon hunter to resurrect. I'm Carol Danvers, but you can call me Captain Marvel. Kidding. Carol's fine. Just thought I'd throw a bone to the Avengers PR team. Not gonna lie, going a few rounds in Vampire Guy's Magic Thunderdome sounds like fun, but we've got bigger fish to fry. Well, not so much fish as that ginormous invulnerable sewer monster that swallowed the Sanctum.
Every lock has its key.
True, if only a man-eating alien demon monster hadn't eaten ours. But that got me thinking. Strange, Caretaker, and the rest of the funky bunch can try and magic their way through that shield all they want. If my time as a pilot taught me one thing, it's that sometimes you've got to find a workaround. As in Hydra, they've got to know the way inside. Steve's always said they aren't much for talking. But then again, I'm told I can be rather persuasive when I need to be.
You do realize, of course, I'm part of the Magic Funky Bunch, right?
Just how far are you willing to go, Captain?
Let's just say that I'm willing to unleash the power of a quantum singularity white hole on them if need be.
A quantum what?
You'll see. Find me in the war room when you're finished here. There's a few things we should discuss. Oh, and Hunter? Welcome back from the dead.
Oh, okay. I was just too quick. Turning me the wrong way around is not fun. Tell you what is fun. Oh, all my stuff that I had. Oh, gain a counter at mission start. A counter is when it's the foe's turn and they attack, I will smack them back, basically, each time. Hey, how you doing?
Nothing is certain these days, but these readings are too distinct to ignore. The gamma signature is...
Sorry, Bruce, we lost you. Did you say Gamma?
Yes,
Hang on a second. Come on, Tony. You managed to stream the Super Bowl to a Kree battleship 50 light-years out. This should be easy.
We waited all year for that game, and you know the Skrulls would have spoiled it for us if they got the chance.
Well, can't you just... I don't know...
Work my magic again? See, that's the problem. This time I am working with actual magic, and let me tell you, it sucks.
Now.
What's shaking?
Ow. The gamma signature is completely inverted. The daughter nuclei are being reabsorbed into the parent nuclei, which is impossible.
If the gamma signature from the Sanctum is really that unique, Bruce, then couldn't we just...
Sorry, still working out a few gremlins in the system.
Try sunlight, and whatever you do, avoid water.
Oh, wait, you're being serious?
We had some in-flight meetings when I was under.
We should be able to track this new gamma signature to its source then, right? I'd do it myself, but we seem to be having a little IT trouble today.
Please. Old Central here is ready to grind through that data like chum.
What exactly is a central?
CENTRAL. Cognitive encryption, net transmogrification. We'll figure it out later.
Sending coordinates now. Hope your gremlins enjoy gamma spectroscopy.
Well, he's been a little moody lately, ever since, the problem with the big old green guy.
I heard that.
Banner can't turn into the Hulk? Not sure if we should be frightened or relieved.
That makes two of us.
Oh, hey. Come on. Happens to everyone. Well, okay, not everyone.
Nice work, Bruce.
I know that place. Creepy abandoned warehouse in the bad guy part of town.
My favorite kind. Anybody up for paying it a visit?
Definitely.
Aw, see that? Teamwork goosebumps.
Find me when you're ready.
Yay. We've got another story
Multi-million
mission.
dollar piece of experimental technology, and she kicks it.